Hi, I'm Shari Johnson with Beard & Warner. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I have a video of Quiana Watson from Ladies Who List Atlanta. She's dropping gems, has great information. Check it out. I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm heading to a closing, right? But it's one of my agent's closings, and it's a really big closing because she sold a church. So I'm super excited for her. So I'm going to support. But something in my spirit said, girl, you want to go get you some breakfast. So let me tell y'all what happened. Literally, I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to come over here and get me. I wanted a chicken, egg, and cheese biscuit from Chick-fil-A. Y'all, so I done got in the line. Now I'm already like, I'm gonna be a little bit late, but it's okay because it's not my closing. I'm just here to support as the broker. Yo, I get in the line and I order. They like, oh, we're not serving breakfast no more. I wanted to back out, but you know how Chick-fil-A is. There's like 3 cars in front of me, 4 cars behind me. So I just had to get some chicken strips. Like, I feel a type of way because I literally came just for a chicken, egg, and cheese biscuit. And I haven't had one in so long. I know I haven't had one in so long, so I literally thought it was about 11. But anyway, I'm just, at this point, I just wanted to check in and say, hey, I can be live with y'all while I go, while I get my breakfast. I guess it's lunch now, child, because ain't no chicken biscuit. Straight up, it's a tragedy. It is a freaking, I was ready to back up. I was like, girl, oh, I can't back up. Oh, okay then, fine. I'm stuck with the chicken biscuit. Hey y'all, hey. So I'm just checking in. How have you guys been? Hey Ari, let me tell you something. It's gonna be fine. Y'all gonna eat the chicken strip. You know, I'm gonna live my life. Y'all gonna watch me enjoy this chicken strip and this fry. Because I was ready to back up. I really was. It was like they need to. But other than that, how you guys been? What you been up to? I have been planning and working. It is literally the audacity. Planning and working. I have a lot going on with running my businesses. So I have like just been I've been busy. There's a few things I'll catch you guys up on eventually when I can. Pardon me? She didn't ask my name, but it's chicken strip.
Oh yeah.
Yes. That's cool. Can I get some salt, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me explain something to y'all. Today is gonna be one of those long days. So I'm definitely gonna enjoy this. So if y'all don't like watching people snack on food, you might want to go ahead and leave this live immediately. If it's gonna bother your spirit, then I'm gonna stay on live and still drive my car to my location. Go ahead and get off this live immediately, because one thing I can do is chew bubble gum and walk at the same time, and I'm about to do all 3 of these at once. So if it bothers your spirit, I'm telling you right now, if it irritates your spirit to watch somebody drive and not look at the camera and talk to y'all, just go ahead and log off, because I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear it. But anyway, yeah, I have a lot going on. Like one thing I'm super excited about and I'm super happy about is my agents. They are definitely closing these deals here in Atlanta and servicing these clients. And I know that one thing's for sure and 2 things for certain. Our market is experiencing a little bit of a shift. Now let me say this in the most polite way. Okay? Our market is experiencing a shift, but it ain't a crash. So I sent out my newsletter to my database yesterday, because there are a lot of people like, I'm just gonna wait till October and November. I'm gonna wait and see how the market crashes. And I'm like, You're waiting for something. I don't know what you're waiting for, but whatever you're waiting for is not gonna happen. So the Atlanta market is not crashing. It is shifting though. And let me tell you why it's shifting. It's shifting because the interest rates are too high. So the interest rates are too high, so people are unable to afford what they used to could afford, because the interest rates are too high. So we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown, but the slowdown is only for people to recalibrate. And I feel like these buyers have to get their minds wrapped around the fact that the rates are higher, the price is higher, and for instance, if you were getting like a 2.5% or 2.75% interest rate, you could afford a $570,000 or $600,000 house, right? But now these rates are like 4%, 4.25%, 4.5%. So what's gonna happen? What happens is now you can afford less home, and when you can afford less home, your choices are slim because the prices are still high. We are literally in the middle of an like of a real market shift. It's still a seller's market. We still don't have enough inventory to satisfy the demand. So I don't know what to say to y'all, but I do know that my sellers, myself included, because I'm going to sell one of my assets. You guys will see it on the market probably by tomorrow, if not Thursday. I'm selling one of my assets so I can actually get the money out and purchase a few more assets. So I think for people that are looking to sell, this is my advice, respectfully. If you know you want to sell, you need to go ahead and position yourself to sell right now. Because as the market continues to do what it's going to do and the interest rates get higher, I feel like buyers are going to start renting more. And so when the buyers start renting more, what you may want to do is sell one asset and purchase like 2 or 3 assets. Alright, I'm sure you are happy you got your property when you did. It was crazy. So if you do that, if you sell one asset and then turn around and purchase like 2 or 3 assets. So what am I going to do? When I sell this one asset, you know what I'm going to do? And which is why I'm like, my life is so much more peaceful now. Because like me and my husband, we're about to sell this property we built. I think it's Friday. The closing is Friday. So when you build your property, when you build it, there's a few things that can happen. One, so we built the property so we control the price. We're going to make a really huge 6-figure income, like a couple of 6 figures off this sale. And I got paid 3 times. I got paid as the listing agent, I got paid as the buyer's agent, and I'm getting paid as the builder. So I say that to say I'm going to leverage the money I make from that sale to build some more properties, because I like being on that side. Have you ever heard the saying, if you build it, they'll come? If you build it, they will come. That's one. Number 2 is, you ain't gotta worry about it. Like, if you build your property, build it, list it, sell it, you make an income off all of it. Me and my husband have been talking about it a lot. This is our 3rd property. So I hope that you I hope that makes sense to y'all. If you are you're looking to sell one of your assets to purchase a few more assets, this market is making some moves right in front of your face. and you know you want to sell. Now, this is not for people that don't have nowhere to go. Like, I'm selling an asset that I don't necessarily need it because I don't live there. I have a primary residence. But when you're selling your primary residence, you may want to move a little carefully because now you have to think about when you do sell, where you're going to go next. So, I always consider that too. Oh, I got 15 more minutes. But at the end of the day, I think when y'all are watching this market, because you know I watch Market Mondays too. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure. I'm hearing about stocks. I literally have crypto. Of course, I lost money on crypto, but I'm using the money I have in crypto to purchase some land in the metaverse. And the great thing about that is we did an interview on Rents and Gems with an amazing woman. Like, she is doing big moves in the metaverse. So me and her been talking. So she's going to help me get some land in the metaverse. I can tell you, right now is a time where I want to tell you this. You may not know exactly what's going on, but you definitely want to just try everything. Y'all remember like the .com era? People that didn't understand what it was didn't invest in it. But there are people that just invest without understanding. And if you blindly invest, if you just do a little bit of research and blindly invest, you may see some huge returns. I'm going to see a little bit of questions. Someone says, is it better to Airbnb or rent? It depends. Like, Airbnb can be good. It can be good, but they do tear your house up. They haven't torn my house up, thank God. But I know one of my clients, they tore his house up so bad. He's selling it. He's like, they tore my house up. I think that's the part. Everything is shiny and new, but everything takes a little bit of work. Everything is going to have the downfalls and the up and down. Personally, I think Airbnb is amazing. It's still going to do well. And there's people that actually, like, you know, really do good with Airbnb. But look at the overhead. Cost to carry. Hire the property manager, paying them 10 to 20%. The cleaning, the deep cleaning fees, because the regular clean that they do ain't enough. You need a deep clean, and it's just a lot. I don't mind. I think Airbnb was great while it lasted for me, but right now, give my money. I want my money because, oh wow. I want my money because I know what else I can do with it. And so when you know you can diversify, do something else. I love Boxable. I looked into their business model. So I looked into the Boxable business model. I think that it's sustainable. I really want to just, you know, touch it. I think it's sustainable. I'm not going to say it's everything right now is an idea. Everything, we're in the middle of we're in a time in the world where people have all these innovative ideas, and I think it's a good time to invest in some of those. Like, even, you know, just invest and see if it's going to go where it needs to go. I do feel like people are getting more into lifestyle and less into the big homes. Like, it used to be a time where everybody wanted a big old house, you know, outside the city. But now people are like want more lifestyle, so they're settling for a smaller home in the perimeter of the city, so they can enjoy like the city and enjoy their lives and you know, things are just not the way they used to be, if you think about it. No. Those business models may work as well. How do I feel about real estate development? Oh, I love real estate development. That's something that I'm actually focusing on. I am literally shifting my whole direction into development. Because, like I said, when you build it, list it and sell it, it's all you. Oh, congratulations. Someone said they built a tiny home in South Fulton. They said the best advice for a new mortgage lender? Know your products. Know your products. I think that's the thing. You guys become mortgage servicers and you don't know the products or the target audience that you want to service. Know your products and understand who your target audience is. I was just listening to a marketing video today. It was so good. I probably shared it in my story. But basically, they were just talking about how you have to niche down your target audience and focus on that. You cannot try to serve everybody. Because when you try to serve everybody, you end up serving nobody. You have to really think about who your target client is and only focus and market towards and attract those people. That's my thought. Don't try to serve everybody. If you want to serve a first-time buyer and your niche is first-time buyers and home buying programs, then market and niche down on that. If you want to service jumbo loans and you want to service people that are able to get these professional medical loans, niche down on that. But I don't think you can kind of spread yourself across the board. How did I find my niche client? I found my niche client by deciding and choosing exactly the type of client that I wanted. I've done my time in each category, and I'm also realistic about my time and what I can focus on. And I think that that's the thing. Like for me, it's not that I don't service first-time buyers. It's just it's no longer my specialty because of the time and commitment it takes. And I have a limited time because while I do sell some real estate, I think that we have to think about the fact that I own the real estate business and I actually have to run that business. So I spend more time approving files, processing commission checks, and doing all those things than I do running in the field and putting together systems and processes and meetings and all that stuff. So I actually choose my target client based on my time. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I wanted the Chick-fil-A biscuit, and now I got the Chick-fil-A nuggets and stuff, and it's not even that good. I just wanted to eat just enough to survive, because now I'm feeling the way that I didn't get my biscuit. But think about your time. We all have to start somewhere. I started off servicing a lot of first-time buyers. Now I focus on listings, and I do work with people that have higher price points. And I think a lot of that has to do with my experience. And so when people are looking for someone that can service them at a certain price point, they're looking at someone that has done it before, has the experience, can provide the concierge service, and knows what they're doing. Because I can say negotiating a $2 million plus contract is not the same as negotiating a $200,000 contract. It's just not the same. So you grow into the market that you want. And as you grow, just consider where you want to go. I think you guys gotta remember, everybody starts somewhere. And you'll probably start with first-time homeowners, or depending on your network too. because a lot of this has to do with your network of people, who you know, who you affiliate with, sometimes those people do become your clients. So for me, even now, I want to make sure that I'm in alignment with and affiliating with people that I do business with, that do business with me. So I have like my clients, like they own restaurants, they own places. I'm doing, like I'm going to highlight their businesses and do things like that. So you got to also think about the value that you bring. I no longer just want to, if we can't do business together, then it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? That, like, it just don't make sense. If we're not doing business like together, like you do business with me, I do business with you, it just doesn't make sense. So that's just also something to consider. What is your network of people? Really consider your network of people. That's it. That's all I got, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get off this live. I really didn't have that much to say today. I answered a couple of questions to do today. Okay. Did I have a mentor? No, I didn't. And I actually, would you be looking for interns? No, not right now. I actually am I'm fully staffed. However, I may be interviewing some new talent sooner than later, so I'll let you guys know. But you have to have a real estate license. You have to be well-spoken, available, assertive. You have to know how to respond to and manage emails effectively. There's a huge requirement for that. All right. What is your why? My property. If you do not have a plan, so you're going to sell your property and you don't have a plan, you don't know what you want to do next, that's a good thing for people that are looking to sell. That means you have more people looking to purchase your asset. But do we have to be more strategic? Yes. We're no longer in the position to just throw properties on the market. These properties have to be in great condition. And I know sellers have been accustomed to this crazy market for the last couple of years, but we're moving into a market where we're balancing things out a little bit. So if things are getting just a little balanced, as a seller, you have to prepare your home for market. You have to have a strategic marketing plan. You need someone to help you prepare your home and price it correctly. An overpriced home will just chase the market. The moment you're chasing the market by reducing your price and reducing your price and reducing your price, you're bringing down the value of your property. And that right there will kind of, it will shorten your profits as well. Someone said, how long do I think low inventory will last? Based on the researchable data, and I always like to tell you guys, this information is Googleable. You can read it in a couple of articles. You don't have to take my word for it. But we do not have enough houses to satisfy the demand. I know that's right, William. We do not have enough homes on the market to satisfy the demand. And they're saying that we're short about 5 million homes in the United States to meet the demand. And based on the demand and the cost of lumber and the time frame of which people are building homes, it's going to take us years to catch up. So we're still far behind. So what I foresee happening is those that can afford it and will purchase. And then there's going to be a good group of people that do not purchase. And when they don't, they're going to end up being long-term renters, because the price of purchasing is going to increase so much that it may become unaffordable. Like right now, the average price point in Atlanta is $500,000. A year and a half ago, the average price point was $378,000. You do the math, decided that's what you want. You're going to have to substantiate that price with comps. You're going to have to substantiate that price with data that makes sense for the area. These buyers are no longer, cost of living in Atlanta has gone up tremendously. And because it has, you definitely have to be very strategic about how you're balancing your funds and your personal funds and how you're working for your money. I see all these ads out here for people saying that nobody wants to work, and I promise you it's true. A lot of people just don't want to work. Don't know why, they just don't want to work. So when you don't want to work and people are, you know, I don't know how they're making it. I just don't. We're gonna see the market do some funny things. I don't know what, I don't have a crystal ball, but I can foresee this market doing some very funny things. Someone said, is it cheaper to build versus buying new construction? It depends on the builder and the cost of the materials and the location of the land. So if you're gonna, it depends on the land. Like you can get land in South Georgia for $100,000. You get land in North Fulton for $1 million. What's the cost of the land and what are you trying to build? That's going to determine everything else. She said, what's better, buy, lease, and build? I think that it's better to purchase your own property. I just look at leasing as a way to pay someone else's, you're just basically paying someone else's mortgage and helping them get to the finish line of paying their property off and having enough equity to sell their asset and make an income. But if you own, then you're going to actually be able to sell your own asset and make your own income. Now, building is something that I think is a great value, and I'll be talking about building your own property, but that's going to take certain financing, and you'll need more money saved. Like you can't build a property with the minimum like 5% down. You're gonna have to have more money saved in order to accomplish that. Hold on. I'm trying to read some of these comments. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. She said you're ready to build your home, but you want to get exactly what you want. You can build exactly what you want as long as you have the budget. One thing I've learned from building these properties with my husband is, as long as you have the budget, you can build it at whatever you want to build. It's all about how much you want to spend, the cost of materials, the cost of lumber, the cost of the finishers, what you're willing to invest. That's the determining factor. Someone said, can you help me sell my home so I can build? Yes, I can. Someone said, manufacturing home prices have increased. The price of everything has increased because it can. See, one thing about it, the market determines that. We're in the middle of inflation. And inflation, the last time inflation happened was in the 70s. And again, this is Googleable information. This is just me reading all this stuff. And so when inflation happens, what they're doing is they're just raising the cost of living across the board. It happens all the time in the world. This is and it's not going to go back down, right? So the cost of homes today will never cost what they did cost in the 70s. So and with us being in the middle of inflation, everything is going to go up, and it may go down just a little bit, but it's going to even out. It will never be the same cost it was 2 or 3 years ago, because that is what inflation does. So it's your responsibility to be, make more money, be responsible with the money you have, and make more smart investments, because inflation is real. I literally was looking at gas in LA, in California, is $8. $8 a gallon. Are you kidding? And then when they see that what happened is when the economy sees we're charging you $8 a gallon, you're still paying it because gas is something you need. There's nothing else you can do. Someone said, property ladder, why does your first home have to be your dream home? It doesn't. I don't think your first home has to be your dream home. My first home certainly was not my dream home. I think your first home just needs to be the home that you want to be at. Someone said, don't use your money, use the bank's money, and don't sell your home, just use the equity. It depends, because keep in mind, interest rates are much higher. So you can pull the equity out, but you also have to account for how much, when you pull the money out of your property and you refinance, you're going to refinance into a rate that could possibly be higher than the rate that you walked into, because interest rates are higher right now. So everybody's situation is different. I do believe in using other people's money. I do believe in using the bank's money, but I also believe in having some money liquid. You need to have your own cash liquid. And you also have to calculate, like, I was looking to refinance, and I was like looking at the numbers, and the numbers didn't make sense. Most people don't really pay attention to that. Look at the numbers. Does it make sense? It's going to increase your loan amount, it's going to increase your loan payment, and it's going to increase your interest rate, because rates are higher now. I don't care if you got an 850 credit score, your rate will be higher today than it was 2 years ago. So that's just something you have to be mindful of. You know, you just can't use a blanket answer. You have to take your own personal situation and meet with an expert. There's no blanket answers. When do you think the market will go back to normal? I think this is normal. This is my opinion. I think this is going to be our new normal. This is the new normal now. This is the new normal. The new normal is low inventory, high demand. The new normal for Atlanta, specifically Atlanta, there are people migrating from capital heavy states and cities, like coming from New York, coming from California. They get paid much higher cost to live there and for the jobs that they perform there. And now they're taking those salaries and moving to Atlanta, and they're taking these huge salaries and saying, oh, Atlanta is cheap because that house is only $100,000. Or that house is only $1 million, right? So they're moving from California, and $1 million house to someone from California is a cheap house. $1 million house to someone that lives in Atlanta is not cheap, because you were used to seeing prices at $300,000, $400,000 for these mini mansions that was just 4 or 5 years ago. So I think we're in the new normal. This is where we're going to land. We're landing softly, and we're exactly where we're going to stay. This is where we are right now. Texas, everywhere. And we have to get used to the new normal. It will never go back. And have you taken the time to look at Atlanta lately? I live here, and I'm like so busy. But now that I'm living a soft life, I've been taking my weekends to explore Atlanta. Take the time to explore your city and look at the new developments that are coming in your city. Anytime you see new developments, that means more jobs. Anytime you see more jobs, that means increased cost of living and opportunity. And I can tell you, if you drive around the city that you're in, specifically Atlanta, specifically Midtown, West Midtown, Buckhead, and you see all these developments, you know that these in Brookhaven, you know the prices are not going to go back down. There is no reason. The gap between the have and the have-nots is getting wider and wider and wider. And that is because there are people that are entrepreneurs, there are people in tech and different positions like that. They're coming to Atlanta because the cost of living is still very affordable as opposed to other cities, and they are settling in here. They are migrating here. So I think this is our new normal. What is the cheapest place to buy property? Cleveland. In my opinion, Cleveland, Ohio is one of the cheaper places to actually purchase property right now. But they don't have a lot of new development. They don't have a lot of new things going on there. But Cleveland, Ohio is extremely affordable. It's a beautiful development. This is a new normal. It's so true. It is. And we just have to face it. We have to face it as a new normal and adjust ourselves so we won't be sticker shocked. Someone said, I'm working with people relocating from New York and California. Cleveland, Ohio is where you are. Yeah, they have some great pricing, and I think if you're looking to buy like some really affordable multifamily, it's really good over there as well. Or a buyer's agent. I think that the problem is we think that we have to be one or the other. We're not in the early stages of selling property. People have super teams, and we have so much technology in place and systems in place that you need to be able to assist a buyer and a seller. You should be able to manage both. Someone said hyperinflation would bring the value down for developers. Material is 3 times the price. That's my point. The cost of materials are high, which they pass that cost on to the buyers. I need a space in Atlanta so I don't have to travel back. Should I just get a condo or a small home? Depending on what you want to do with the home. Because keep in mind, they have cracking down on Airbnb, and a lot of people are buying Airbnb, but if you get a condo, you may not have the ability to Airbnb because there's only a small percentage of Airbnb-able condos in the metro Atlanta area. Someone said it's some really nice developments here, but they are expensive and not much land is down stuff in Atlanta. Multi-levels and rehabs are better here in Cleveland. Yep. Where can you buy an affordable quadruplex? Cleveland and Chicago. I love Chicago, like the west side of Chicago. They call them 4 flats and 2 flats. Chicago still has a lot of multifamily opportunity. Where we go. And I hope that you do have an agent. They're sharing you the proposed market data of the area so you have a better idea of how to manage your investment. So I can't really do a blanket answer on that question, but I hope that helped you. Why are there limiting Airbnbs in Atlanta? Because the hotels, the taxes from the hotels help to pay a lot. Now they're circling back and saying, they just want you guys to get back to the money, in my opinion. In my opinion, I've never seen anything that just don't, it always, that's all I have. I'm about to go. But if you're looking to sell your property and you want someone to evaluate the value and make sure that you're on the right track and talk to you about your exit strategy, please contact Quiana at QuianaWatson.com. Go to QuianaWatson.com and submit your form, and we'll contact you guys after the weekend and see what we can do to help you get your property listed and sold. Because I can tell you right now, this market, the way it's shifting around, you need a professional that knows the market. Not someone just to throw your home on the market and put a sign in the yard and walk away. You need someone that can adequately, professionally price, market, and get your home sold. All right. So I'm heading right now to someone said I need a driver. Girl, it's the best thing I ever did. I don't want a new car. My husband was asking me, do I want a new car? I said no, because I don't even want to drive. I don't care nothing about having the latest and greatest car. Put me in the back seat. Get me some more miles. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. And I hope that you guys, at least take away from this, if you have some equity and you're thinking about taking the equity out of your property, evaluate the numbers. I have great lenders to help you evaluate the numbers. Because every time it just doesn't make sense, especially being that you will be refinancing into a higher interest rate. Is the cost of that money worth it? That's the part that you guys do not think about. Everybody gives blanket answers. You need a detailed answer that makes sense for your situation. If you want to sell your property, we can talk about that too, because I can tell you how much money you can make, but we need an exit strategy. All right, I gotta go. Let me get ready for my listing appointment. I'm doing marketing today, so I'll be changing outfits to my marketing because I like to surprise y'all with the new looks, like boom. I don't want y'all to see, but I'm super excited about this way of like, listen, girl, I want to give you some advice from my standpoint to help you win, and it's being in the hustle and bustle and actually connect with the people that are trying to connect with you. And I think that we forget that the whole point of like building relationships and connecting with people is so we can actually learn from each other, possibly use each other's resources so we can be better people, better business people, etc. And what I've recognized is I get a lot of numbers, I get a lot of connections, but then as soon as I get back to Atlanta or as soon as I get back home, I get so busy in the hustle and bustle, I don't take a step back to say, you know what, let me also cultivate and let me also pour into these relationships. So I am definitely like excited because now when I come back, I have a lot going on this week, but next week I'm taking a step back. So like I'm not gonna do certain things so I can also focus on building the relationships, like taking some lunches, doing some calls. Like sometimes it just takes time from your time, but when you think about it, those connections, like relationships are worth more than money. And when you start building relationships with people, you have to like value them, and it's more than money. And I have phone numbers of people that are like millionaires and billionaires, that have amazing businesses, but because I'm always hustling and bustling, it feels like I never had the time to just say, you know what, and see what you have going on. Or, you know, so this month for me, for the next month, it's going to be all about connecting. And sometimes it's like we have to connect with people to grow. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm in the middle of a huge growth. Like I'm in the middle of a growth phase in my business. And there's a lot that I'm moving forward to. And so these connections that we're making, there are things I can help them with. There are things they can help me with. But you can never connect with someone if you just don't take the time. So I was thinking the next time you go to like an event, right, and you get somebody's number, make sure you call them. If they say, call me, call them. If they say, let's get together for lunch, actually get together for lunch. Don't just go to the event and meet people, get numbers, hype yourself up, and then the next day you're back doing what you've been doing. Because I can tell you, old ways won't open new doors. And if you're trying to do anything different, and sometimes it's not, and people always think it's like, oh, you got to level up. Sometimes it's not leveling up. Sometimes it's literally, I want to stop doing this so I can start doing more of that. But you can't do that by yourself. You absolutely have to take the time to value the relationships that you're trying to build. Call people, text people, make time to visit, whether that be if they come to Atlanta, whether that's you going to their hometown, whether that, whatever it is. But I just had that thought today because so often we don't. So often we do not take the time to connect. We just don't. I don't know why. I can't explain why we don't connect, but we're not connecting. We are meeting people and then getting excited about an idea or a concept and then not following through on that idea or concept because we get back to doing what we used to do. So that's my thoughts as I'm in the Uber headed to the studio. I'm pretty sure Matt or Jordana, one of them, is going to jump on this live because I ain't that late. I'm a little bit late, but not really late because they was late yesterday. So if they on here, don't say nothing for me. I think that we have to get off the high horse and just reach back out to people. I am in a place where I'm like, I got 3 people that are in my phone that I know I need to connect with. And I'm going to tell you what those business ventures could be, right? I have one person that all she does is buy and hold huge property, multifamily, 10 unit, 15 unit. And she's doing it. And she's like, listen, I invest in several different cities. Do you want me to help you find a multifamily that is cash flowing? I'm like, yes, I do. I'm going to connect with her. There's another person I met. She is, you'll see this episode, but she's basically the blockchain queen. She knows everything about blockchain, everything about the metaverse, buying land in the metaverse, NFTs. And I was ignorant to the blockchain, NFTs, crypto. But now that she's broken it down and I have her number, I'm like, you know what? Sis said she'll set everything up for me. She's just like, give me a call. So she's on my list. I'm going to give her a call and let's get this set up. So I think that that's the problem. We are not we connect, but we don't follow through. And if a person gives you their personal number and say, hey, connect with me, contact me, reach out to them until they prove to you that maybe they didn't want you to reach out. But I do feel like most people, if they genuinely give you their number and they genuinely say reach out, they want you to. And I think that we need to make sure we're coming from a position of value. You can't just grab, you just can't take, you have to give. And if they want something from me, I always lead the conversation with, hey, I'm calling you because I want to know about blah, blah, blah. However, let me know what I can do for you too. Is there something I can do for you? Is there something you would like for me to do for you? We're never doing value propositions, but I feel like in personal and in business, everything has to come from a position of value. What value are you bringing to the situation? Those are the only type of friends I want right now. I only want friends that are ready to elevate. I only want friends that are bringing things to the next level. I only want friends that are like ready to talk about like things like that. Like, I don't want to talk about other people. I only want to talk about what we can do to better ourselves. If we can't talk about how we're bettering ourselves, I don't want to talk about it. It's nothing to talk about. So I just wanted to come up here and just kind of share my thoughts with you guys as I'm sitting in this traffic. I'm actually at the studio now, so I'm about to be upstairs. I'm going to, I think we're filming four episodes today. So, I'm doing that. And then we'll have dinner tonight, and then I'll be back in Atlanta tomorrow. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there because it was on my mind. And I think that so many of you guys are not connecting with people that are laterally to you. You're always reaching up. And it was like a quote I heard from, what's her name? I'll tell you her name. Issa Rae, when she said stop reaching up and start making sure that you're reaching across to people that are with you, because people that are with you actually can help you grow further. You guys need to stop reaching up, and people that know something and you know something, get together and teach each other something, and make sure you're actually connect, like see people in person, pick up the phone. Like, we text so much, pick up the phone. Not just pick up the phone, maybe do a Zoom meeting. Let's talk live. Let's talk on FaceTime, like connect. Let's not forget that connections are still important in life, in personal relationships, and in business. Connect, all right? All right, I'll talk to you guys later. That's all I got. That was like something on my mind, and I wanted to share because y'all just, we're not connecting enough. Heck, I haven't been there, done that. Y'all need to, I'm telling you, connections is the name of the game. I'm about to head in here and do my part. One thing about it, I do enjoy the podcast because I learn a lot. And so I feel like y'all mess up because if y'all are not subscribed and listening to the Rants and Gems podcast, you really playing yourself, because I've learned so much. People ask me, how have you been able to grow so quickly? Well, I feel like it's because I'm interviewing people that are doing great things, that inspire me to do more things, that pour into me. So you guys subscribe to our podcast every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You don't want to miss the episode, okay? All right, bye. Yes, it's Wednesday, right? Oh my God, Rants and Gems did just come on.
Oh, absolutely.
Is it Wednesday? No, it's Anyway, so I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys because I don't think we ever take the time to think about what it takes for other people to show up. Just to show up. And I am actually heading to an event, right? And I want to talk about my day so it can make sense to y'all what I'm talking about. I got up early I was up late last night. I had a special project I was working on. Then I attended another event last night for Techie Homes. Then I didn't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning. Got up this morning. I had a relocation client fly in town. She flew in town and we looked at a couple of properties, and she's looking at a multi-million-dollar property. So we looked at 2 properties, drove her around, did all of that, drove back to the city. I got home, changed into this, and now I'm going to another event tonight. And this is about we have someone running for governor, and I want to support his campaign. And so where I am in my business and where I am in my career is, it's important that I'm a part of different events. And so I want to support his campaign, and he's talking about great things he's going to do for real estate, stuff like that. Okay, y'all said y'all want a crib, I'm ready. So I think that what it is we never think about what it takes to actually show up for other people. I literally went home, took a quick shower, changed clothes, and ran in the car. I actually had to finish getting dressed in the Uber. And I could have just said forget it, because I am tired. I was up late, I was up early, I've been working all day. We were walking through houses. The largest house was 20,000 square feet, right? So y'all, can you imagine? It took us 2 hours to tour that large house. It's hot in Georgia. I had on a suit. I'm sweating down my back. Like, let me just give y'all the real that nobody tell y'all. And still did that twice in 2 different properties, and still, you know, I'm showing up. And I think that we have to start appreciating people that show up for us, because we don't know what they went through to actually show up for us. Let me tell you, 20,000 square feet, let me tell you, it wore us out, up and down the stairs, outside, inside. I thought I was gonna melt. But I'm proud to say we actually selected, they're actually choosing between both of those properties. So obviously I did a good job. So it seems that we will probably be under contract probably within the next week on one of those homes. So that will be a really big sale, because the properties are $4.5 million. So I'm extremely excited about that. But I just want you guys to know that, you know, we have to give people grace when they don't show up for us. But the people that actually do take the time to show up for us, we got to start celebrating them more, because I'm trying to tell you, it's taken a lot for me to continue to show up for other people this week. And I'm doing it. But I'm taking time. I'm taking off. I'll be around. Sasha, you know, we had a day yesterday, and today we're having a day, but it will be fine. So we just I just wanted to tell you guys, because I haven't been live in a minute, because I actually have been busy. But you got to start showing up for other people, because you want people to show up for you. But when people do show up for you, you literally have to start thinking about, what did they have to do to actually show up for me, and appreciate those people that continue to show up, because y'all don't know what it takes. Like, and I could imagine what people do behind the scenes to show up. Like, even when I think about, like, the CEO Society, right? We had our big event this weekend, and I'm thinking about, what did it take for people to actually show up? Like, what did they have to sacrifice? What did they have to do? What did they have to hurry up and finish in order to show up for us? I always consider that, and that's why, you know, I engage with everyone and talk to everybody and ask questions and, you know, do all of that, because we never consider what it takes for other people to show up for us. Yeah, people definitely need to recognize, like, it takes a lot to show up for other people. Oh, Letice, I'm glad you came to the event. The event was given what it was supposed to have gave, baby. Are you guys enjoying the clothing line launch? Like, CEO Society is gang. Okay, you flew in from New York. Other people really, and let me tell you something. When people show up for you, it's so important. So I was just thinking about that, because I'm not gonna lie, I was 2 seconds away from just canceling the Uber and saying fuck it. I ain't got no better way to say it. I'm about to go hang out with my dog and relax, because I have had a day. But I decided right in that mid-sentence that no, showing up is important, and this is an important event because I'm supporting a candidate that I actually believe in, and he's going to make some changes in the real estate world, and that's what matters the most. Aaliyah said, "Girl, I'm just had to tell her, say what it was." I'm so glad you came. Let me tell you something. I'm so glad you came. So I am, you know, I'm giving myself this week to finish everything on my list, but I can't wait for the week to be done, because next week I'm pretty much just taking off. I'm gonna need a minute. I need a minute to take care of some business in the background, take care of some admin. You guys know I run 4 businesses, and they are all super busy right now. I hope that everybody got their CEO Society jackets, because we will be planning another huge event in the fall, and you guys are really going to enjoy that. You're going to want to wear your jackets for sure. Thank you, girl. She said you already ordered your outfit. 7 Child Entertainment. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of go on here and just share that thought, because it hit me like, you know, it takes a lot to continue to show up for other people. So when you see people at your events, or you post an event, or you go to a dinner, like, just treat everybody with kindness, because you never knew what it took for them to show up for y'all. The Blueprint Elevated is not the same as the Blueprint Plus. The Blueprint Plus is basically the same blueprint with additional modules and information. The Blueprint Elevated has not been released yet, and it's going to be elevated. I've just been taking my time releasing it. I know you guys want it, but I am working on it, and I'm taking my time to release it because it needs to be 100% right. And when it is, the link will drop. Let's see. And let's get into this. Like, at the end of the day, like, I get through the rest of the week. Like, let me tell you what else happened to me, Rachel. I literally, you know, my office is increasing our rent double. So now not only do I have an expansion, I have 32 agents with Watson Realty Co. I have a waiting list of 100 agents that want to join the company. Now I got to go find a whole new office with the rent. Doubled it, baby. Inflation is real, okay? So I am out here looking for my own commercial space to expand the brokerage. Like, it's out of control. It is beyond insane. Bonita, who told you I was writing a book? I am, though. It's going to be coming out in the fall. Like, the audacity. They literally sent me a renewal sheet, and I said, is this double the price for the same square footage? Have you lost your mind? I won't be doing that. Let me identify us another space. So I got to take a little step back to actually shop for. Let me tell you, inflation is crazy. Inflation is crazy. And that leads me to tell you guys, like, when I was thinking about like inflation and what's going on with our market, the real estate market is still insane. Like, my clients are literally, every property that I've sold this year, they've made at least a $250,000 in profits. And that's a lot. That's a heck of a lot. And when you think about the grand scheme of things, with us being in the middle of inflation, I would highly encourage you guys to follow the simple rules. And the simple rules in my thoughts are going to be: save as much liquid capital as you can to cover your expenses. Be careful with your investments. A lot of you guys made a lot of risky investments. We were talking about that with Earn Your Leisure, and I'll be talking to you guys about that more. Like, y'all made a lot of risky investments, and if you can't, like, if you put your last $50,000 into crypto the other week and crypto was down, or the stock market was down and you didn't invest in oil, you know, a lot of people are having a hard week this week. But the one thing I can say, Aaliyah, one thing I can say is, let's be clear. But real estate is the tried and true method to build wealth. And we all like the shiny new thing, and we should play and dabble in the shiny new thing. But I think it's important that you consider investing in more real estate, investing in more brick and mortar, because people will always need a place to stay. And if you're the landlord, you will control the market. So continue to think that. Continue to just kind of think about how you can diversify your portfolio. But y'all started to sleep on real estate. Y'all forgot about us. Y'all was acting like real estate wasn't all that. Someone asked, what do I mean? Every client of mine this year that sold their property, they made $250,000 as a profit. Every client. And they reached out to me like, hey, I may have sold them their house 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And in this market right now, they are demanding the price and they are getting the money they're asking for. So sellers are really, like, they're doing well right now. But I would say, I encourage you, don't get stuck. If you're going to sell your property in this market, sell your property, but have an exit strategy. Everybody always asks me, oh, you're just making people sell their property, don't know where they're going. No, not my clients. They already have an exit strategy, whether they're going to rent and invest in a business, buy a commercial space, buy another property, or whatever. I am in Atlanta, Georgia. Aaliyah, girl, let me tell you something. I ran the numbers on if the money is there as agent, especially when you start talking about equity, equity is something that only is tangible and only works when you use it, right? Right now, there's a lot of equity, but who's to say 2 years from now, a year from now in the market, and I do feel like our market is going to correct itself. It will not crash, but it will correct itself. That you'll have that same amount of equity. And I think it's a wonderful time to evaluate your expenses. Like, if you're living off of more than 20% of your income, maybe you want to evaluate your expenses, because y'all been balling. Everybody been balling. Everybody I know is balling. Everybody's got lots of sales and everything is up. But are you prepared for a down market? Are you prepared, Aaliyah? Let me tell you something. Hey, look, MG the mortgage guy is here. Like, are you prepared for a down market? If you're living off of more than 20% of what you make, and when the tables turn, because right now we're watching the tables begin to turn right in front of us, what are you going to do? I just want you to know, like, you know, these are things, the conversations that me and my friends are having. So I felt like I should, you know, have this conversation with you guys. Hey, Courtney, let me tell you something. Everybody is like, I agree. I'm heading to Spain, so I'm heading to, it's a fancy little dinner. It is. I'm heading to the dinner tonight. But I think you guys want to evaluate, like, where your investments, what's making you money, what's not making you money. If it's something you want to hold on to, if there's enough equity in it, if you want to go ahead and sell it and have enough liquid capital on standby. And that's if this market shifts a little bit. This is not for the first time buyers. I'm not talking to y'all. Because y'all first time buyers, y'all don't own nothing, and y'all swear that by the time the market shifts, you definitely won't be able to afford, because the interest rates are up and they're slated to hit 7% by the end of the year. So no, I'm talking about people that own multiple properties. If there's a second property or a third property that you own, that you feel like, I could make an income off of this, then consider that. But I'm not talking to the people that just never bought a house, because y'all, sorry y'all, we're going through the tunnel. Y'all waiting for something that ain't gonna never happen. I'm watching these interest rates. It is ridiculous. 5%, 4.5%, 4.75% rates are up. Girl, you had somebody close at 6.4%. You see what I'm saying? And this time last year or 2 years ago, we was at 2.25%.
Make a left turn on Lennox Road Northeast.
Oh, MG want to join in. Okay. Let's get. Where you at? Let me see, how do I add him in here? Oh, there he is.
The queen has spoken.
What's going on, MG?
You know, I'm alive and blessed. Happy to be here.
Happy New Year, live and blessed.
You know, I could just tell how your makeup is all beat. You know what I mean? I could tell, like, skin is glowing. I know Anthony is probably matching and looking fly and dapper himself. Like, I know y'all out here big stepping tonight.
Listen, we gotta coordinate. We have to coordinate.
We already know how the Watsons give it up.
The Watsons have to step outside. Okay.
Look, let me tell y'all, real coming soon. So look, I wanted to piggyback real quick off what you were saying about the interest rates. Interest rates are definitely up and it's stuck. But we tried to tell y'all this last year, but y'all wasn't trying to listen. But I want to say this to you guys. A recession doesn't mean a housing crash. Okay? Because a lot of y'all are just DMing me too much and talking about it's going to recession. It's going to cause a housing crash. I don't care what no one tells me. I don't care what any of these YouTubers or IG people are saying. I pay attention to one simple thing: supply and demand.
Exactly.
Supply and demand. And what's going to happen is this, right? Yesterday, the Fed Chair Jerome Powell spoke at a Forbes conference yesterday, and he said out of his own mouth, unless we see a sharp decline in inflation, the Feds are going to continue to raise the Fed fund rates. In June, they're going to raise it another half a point. But some experts think he might go as far as raising it 3/4 of a point. So, like you said, interest rates hitting 7% by the end of the year. No. How about by the end of June? If he raises rates, if he raises the Fed fund rates that high, I mean, the rates are going. The 30-year fix is going to be 7% come July.
It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to
It's
be
probably
ridiculous.
going to. It's going to be ridiculous. But I want to tell you guys, this is when you have to work with professionals who understand real estate financing. You're going to have to now start looking at creative ways to get lower interest rates and save money on your mortgages if you still want to buy homes. So for my first time home buyers, you're going to have to now start taking out adjustable rate mortgages. It's just plain and simple. Adjustable rate mortgages. A lot of lenders are now beefing up their adjustable rate mortgage product offerings. Those rates are 1 to 1.5% lower, just depending on the lender, than a
Okay.
30-year fixed rate. So right now, for FHA, for example, I locked in a deal the other day where the FHA rate was the high fours, but we was able to get this person in the mid threes on an adjustable rate
That's
mortgage.
not bad at all. That's good, actually. That's amazing.
Make a right turn, then keep left.
I can hear you now.
All right, cool. So the rate was in the mid high threes. So you guys gonna have to start taking out adjustable rate mortgages. Now I'm not telling you
Here it's fine.
three. I'm not telling you
I gotta
2
get my
years,
husband.
3 years. You're gonna have to do
Thank you
7
so much.
years. You're gonna have to do 10 years, right? Adjustable rate mortgage applications are at a 14-year high right now. It's surging right now because the rates are lower. All right. So you guys have to understand how adjustable rates work, how they operate, because they're not the devil. They're strictly for live men, not for freshmen. So you need to do your homework. You need to do your research, because if you want to buy real estate, whether you're a primary residence or an investment property, you have to be creative now.
Agreed.
That's what it's all about, y'all. These rates are not, they're higher than what they were. But let me tell you something. In 2019, the 30-year fix was 4.5 to 5%. It's just everybody's been spoiled over the past 2 years because of the pandemic. Don't be spoiled. That was a once in a lifetime opportunity, and that's why people like Quiana and myself were out here screaming to the top of our lungs, you need to go buy something right now.
See?
So I know you at your event.
But I'm glad that you at least said that, because at the end of the day, people don't want to read this, because we always see things or the market's gonna crash. If you continue to look at these numbers, you will see a few. One, we still don't have enough. There's conflicting articles out here. One article says 5 million houses less. Another article says $1.5 million house less. But let me say something. Whether we are missing 5 million homes or 1.5 million homes, that's a lot of property to build. It's just a lot.
It's a lot of property, and with the supply issues that we have, and it's going to get worse, right? See, the feds, what they're doing is they're going to try to curb inflation, right? But what they're making it more expensive, and you got to understand the housing supply, the inventory is going to decrease even worse than it is right now, because sellers are not going to want to sell, because on the flip side, they're not going to want to pay higher.
Exactly.
So you have to understand, if a seller is not in dire need to get rid of their property or to upgrade or move to a better school district, if those rates, that 30-year fix hit 7%, 6.5%, sellers are not putting their houses on the market. So the homes that are on for sale, it's going to be more bidding wars. So you have to understand supply and demand, people. Let me break something down real quick for you guys, right? And I need you guys to understand this, right? From 2003 to 2007, 40% of the mortgage market was adjustable rate mortgages with credit scores below 620, with no documentation loans, and those fixed rate periods was 1 to 3 years. Okay, the housing inventory at the same time, it was a buyer's market. We had, I think in 2004 or 5, there was about 10 months of supply on the market, right? That is a robust buyer's market. 2006, it was about 9 months of supply. 2008, it dropped to like 7.5 months on the market. And then 2009, I think it increased back to like 8, 9 months on the market. That's why the market crashed, because now you have all these adjustable rates coming due for people who had no skin in the game and they had shitty credit already. So they said, fuck these houses. We don't want them. Right? And then banks started going out of business because people started defaulting at a high rate. So you have to understand what the market was then and look at the market now. We, since 2019, 2018, we have been having less than 3.5 months of supply on the market, and now over the past 2 years, and in some areas, less than a month and a half of supply. This supply issue is real, y'all. And people nowadays, the difference is we are qualifying them. There's no documentation loans. You have to have an ability to repay your mortgages right now. So this is a completely different market than it was in 2008. And you need to understand that a recession does not mean a freaking housing crash. And eight of the nine recessions on record, there's only been one housing crash, and that was 2007-8. Right? That's the only time that the housing market crashed, and it was because of underlying conditions. In fact, in 8 of those recessions, housing and home appreciation actually increased. So you have to do your math, and you have to understand the stats. Numbers. You have to understand this, and you need to understand what's going on. What's going on today is not what was happening yesterday, and yesterday's price is definitely not today's price. So y'all need to get with it. Listen to Rants and Gems. Episode is on YouTube right now. How to buy a property with your 401k, featuring Henry Washington. He uses 401k to get his first deal, and now he has an 8-figure portfolio. Y'all need to go watch that. I just came in here real quick to drop some quick gems for my sister, because she looking like the queen that she is. I know she likes numbers, so I had to come in here real quick.
That's the numbers I love. Thank you guys for jumping. I gotta go. I'm echoing. I'm about to go into my event. Me and MG are coming.
Let's do it.
All right, bye.
All right, peace.